Yo, what is up? Recently made a video on the upcoming T77 that's been released out on the super test, and today I want to follow it up with some live gameplay. And first of all, I'm going to do some comparison with what's going on right now. We are in rykoz.info. This is a very reliable website for World of Tanks. I'm going to do a comparison with the old T77 and the new T77, but I also, like I mentioned, have some live gameplay for you. If you want to skip straight to the live gameplay, you can click on the scrub down below here. Somewhere in the 3-minute mark, you will see the live replay going on there if you want to skip this part, that is. But trust me, you don't want to skip this part because the T77, first of all, has changed. It is now changed from medium tank to heavy tank. That is the first news that you need to know about. This is no longer a medium tank. This is now a heavy tank. So let's look at the characteristics and what has changed in the characteristics. You can see there is some highlighted red markers there. Those are the changed parts, but a lot more than that has changed. First of all, endurance has changed. This is the total HP, of course, from 1350 to 1450, 100 more HP. Also, engine horsepower from the initial 800 horsepower. Remember, I used to compare this tank with the Lorraine 40 ton, the French medium tank. Well, now it's not a medium tank anymore. I'm gonna have to compare this with something like a Somua. That would be more suitable. The weight has also changed. 50 ton right now. It used to be 49 ton. Maximum load is still the same, but the power to weight ratio from 16.33, it is now 14.28. It has become a much heavier tank. Reverse speed also from 18 kilometers an hour dropped to 12 kilometers an hour. Swing speed is hull traverse. You traverse a little bit slower because you're heavier, I suppose. Turret traverse as well, less degrees per second. Ground distances also has changed. Everything here basically has changed. View range from 380 dropped to 370. That has also changed. So we're going to see a lot of changes going on. Not that we're going to know about it anyway because we've never played this tank, but since it is released in the super test and now is actually in the live server right now, aiming time, you can see the difference here, 2.59 seconds when it used to be 2.21 seconds. So that has changed, and also your dispersions have changed after firing while in motion. You can see all the changes here. 0.21, now it's 0.24. During turret traverse, it has also changed. So a lot of changes have gone on. You know, dispersion changes, gun performance, all this has changed over the period of time. But let's take a look at some live gameplay and go straight into it. If you are here for the first time, consider subscribing and giving this a view. It's the best way you can help support my channel. Also, remember to leave a comment in the comments section below. Let Wargaming know what you think about this tank and what you think about their game. Now, I'm going to compare this tank straight with a Somua SM. Now, we are watching Ikibu playing this tank on the EU server during Gamescom together with their partner, with his partner, and I've covered their faces on stream because I don't want their faces to distract us from watching the gameplay on the T77. You can see it is going to be a quite capable tank. 1450 horsepower hit points and a 700 horsepower engine, very similar to the Somua, but it has a quicker forward speed than a Somua. Although the Somua can reverse 20 kilometers an hour, the T77 can only reverse in 12 kilometers an hour. It does look like a T57. You are right, it is basically a baby T57. Power to weight ratio slightly better than a Somua, which means you can wiggle a little bit better. It has a little bit agility. Swing speed 31 degrees compared to the Somua 33 degrees. Swing speed is of course the hull traverse. Now the hull armor is less than a Somua. and the turret armor is better than the Somua. So you have a little bit of a mix here. Some parts the Somua are better, some parts the T77 is going to be a little bit better. Reload 28.28 seconds, a lot quicker than a Somua with a 2-second intra clip. You can fire every 2 seconds while a Somua fires every 2.25 seconds. Now damage 360 alpha on the main gun, which is the main shells, which is APCR. So you're gonna get 1000 plus meters per second shell velocity with 360 damage. That is pretty good. Only downside is the penetration. Well, I don't say it's downside, but it's 215, less than the penetration of a stock Somua, which has 232 penetration. But the heat penetration or premium penetration is 270 millimeters, a lot better than a Somua SM. Gun depression 8 degrees looking down, 15 degrees looking up. Somua has 10 degrees of gun depression. Again, shell velocity 1143 meters per second. It will fire kind of like a laser. Really well made gun with high shell velocity. It's going to be really good for in terms of gun performance and gun handling. Aim time as well, not as good as the Somua, 2.59 seconds, but you can't have it all, right? You got 360 damage, 360 times 3 shells. That's a lot of damage, right? That's a lot of damage. Dispersion 0.35. You are looking at very good dispersion, considering that it's an autoloader, 3-clip autoloader, heavy tank, better than a Somua, which has 0.38. So if you run a vertical stabilizer or something like that, you are going to do very well with it. Now we are going to watch the remainder of the game without looking at the stats. If you do want to look at the stats, you can rewind and pause it there and have a look at it. But let's watch the remainder of the game with Ikibu trying to push forward. The game is basically already over. You can see him do already 1887 damage here. He has about 570 hit points left in his tank. He can't really go forward and spot for his team. So what's going to happen is he's just going to chill here and snipe from a distance, and you are going to see that 0.35 dispersion work for you here. He's got his shells loaded. He's got his 3 clips, 3 shell clip already loaded up. All he needs is one of his teammates to spot for him. Now if you're in this position where you only have 570 HP left, you don't really want to be out in front there taking all the damage. He pens the first one, pens the second one, and I think he manages to secure the kill as well. Just like that, 2573 damage done. There's another 3 more tanks on the enemy team. You can go forward and do a little bit more damage instead of sitting at the back, but understandably so, he does not have a lot of HP left, so he's just gonna sit back here. And that's the problem with autoloaders. When you're waiting for 30 seconds for your reload to reload your clip, you are not making full advantage of your DPM. You're not doing any damage. That's the problem with the T77. Only 3 shells in a clip. The Somua I think has got 5, but 360 is big alpha, so every shot that you land and every shot that you penetrate, 360 is almost guaranteed. And that's the end of the game for Ikibu in his T77 heavy tank. And for this game, I think he even got an ace tanker. So what do you think about this tank? If you have an opinion, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let Wargaming know if you are excited about this tank, if you want to see this tank, if you can't wait for this tank in the game. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some valuable information about this tank, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.